And once he once he learned the routine, he was able to help me, and I was exhausted. I was so exhausted because I was taking care of both of them for August, September, and October. My father began to decline so fast in August that it was unbelievably fast. And um, so my brother came in a few days to help because I said, you guys need to come because my dad was getting so sick so fast that his memory was bad. He wasn't eating, and the doctor said he needed to go in hospice. So my brother came and helped and learned the routine, and I was so glad because that was going to be the first night in many nights that I was going to be able to actually sleep. You don't know how important sleep is until you can't get it, because they both at that point needed round the clock care, and I had moved back in with them and was literally sleeping on a love seat at the foot of their hospital beds in their living room, getting up to take care of each of them literally around the clock. So this night my brother was there and he was on duty, and I went into the back bedroom and I was trying to sleep. But I kept hearing my dad try to get up. He kept trying to get up. He kept trying to get up. He kept saying he had to go to the bathroom. My brother kept trying to help him. And then this one last time, I heard, "Honey." My brother called to me because my dad had collapsed. And between the two of us, we picked him up and got him back in the bed. I could tell. I knew. I could tell there's something about the way about the way that his chin was moving that he wasn't. So I called the hospice nurse. She said, "Did you give him some morphine?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Are you ready?" She said, "I'm on my way." She said, "But this is probably it." I said, "Okay. Okay." I told my brother. I called my other brother who was at a hotel nearby. And my dad was. You don't forget that. That's how he was fighting to breathe. His head was back and his jaw was working. And my brother that was there looked at me. He's like, "Is he going to be okay?" And I said, "No." He said, "Is this it?" I said, "Yeah, this is it. This is it." And we both stood there. We held his hands. We hugged him. I said the Lord's Prayer. And those jaw movements became further and further apart. And we thought he was gone. And my brother came outside, out here to this very deck. And I stood there and I just looked at my father. And he did it one more time. And his eyes were open. And that was it. That was the last time. I held his hand, and I reached over to the other bed and held my mother's hand. And I said, "Help." Just asked God for help. I just said, "Help." I said, "I'm just going to stand right here. Just help." And I stood right there. I stood right there. And then my brother came back in and we got my dad ready. The hospice nurse came a little while later, and my brothers came, and my other brother came. And jeez, you're not ready. You're never ready. I was not ready for either of them. I was not ready. So here I am a year later, and I'm not ready. I may be grieving more now than I did then. And I think it's because when it's happening, you're kind of in shock, even though it was expected. But then there's so much going on, right? Like the memorial planning, families coming in, everyone's calling, flowers are coming, people are sending food, all of which are beautiful, beautiful things. I loved every moment of it, but it really wasn't time to stop and grieve. There were moments where my knees gave way. My brothers were there to help me, but I wasn't ready. You're never ready. You're never ready. So I come out here and I watch the birds and I listen to the bugs and I watch the fish jump and I think of them, and then I start thinking about what is important in life, and I realize that it's not nearly the stuff that we think it is. It's not the stuff that we acquire. It's not the heights to which we aspire, ascend. It's not what we lose. It's not what we gain. It's how much we love, how much we are loved, how much we learn to appreciate what is given to us naturally. Everything that we need is already here. Everything we need to survive was already here when we got here. Somehow, once we get here, we think we need to amass all of these people-made things, cars and houses and clothes. In the end, none of that matters. Neither my mom or my dad asked for certain clothes. Neither of them asked what was happening to their property. Neither of them asked me to remind anybody of the things that they had achieved. Neither of them asked for forgiveness for any ills they may have done. They were just focused on that moment, that next breath. Everything we need in life was already here when we got here. And I think the sooner we appreciate and respect that, the more value life then has. And becoming fulfilled is so much easier, and pursuing and achieving happiness and joy is so much easier because you no longer have to be the richest one on your block, the most educated, the best dressed. All you have to do is be good, be loving, be compassionate and kind, and do your work. You gotta work, right? Nothing in life is free. You still have to put in some sort of work in some capacity, form, or fashion. But you don't have to race with the person next to you to see who can get more. You can share. Why don't we share more? We don't have to dim our lights so someone else can shine, and we don't have to shine our light so brightly that others can't be seen. Why don't we just share? Only two. That one only gave 2 jumps. I saw 6 jumps earlier. I breathe deeply. I breathe in a box breathing. I focus my energy on loving and being loved, being compassionate, being kind, trying not to judge, and forgiving those that judge me, because that's less about me and more about them. I live my life in a way that makes me happy, not that pleases others. As long as I'm kind and compassionate, forgiving, and caring.